Have you ever dreamt of working from the beautiful city of Portugal? Imagine a lifestyle where work and play blend seamlessly together, where the office is a quaint cafe by the sea, and your lunch breaks are spent exploring the narrow cobbled streets or catching a quick surf. Welcome to the world of digital nomadism in Portugal, a country that perfectly embodies the spirit of this lifestyle. Portugal, with its rich history, vibrant culture, and breathtaking landscapes, has quickly become a haven for digital nomads. It's not just the allure of the Atlantic coastline, the charming architecture, or the delicious cuisine that's attracting people from around the world. It's the promise of a balanced lifestyle, a space where work flexibility meets personal freedom. But what makes Portugal stand out among other digital nomad destinations? It's their welcoming attitude towards remote workers. Acknowledging the changing dynamics of work, Portugal has introduced a special visa for digital nomads, making it easier for remote workers to live and work in this beautiful country. The benefits of working in Portugal as a digital nomad are plentiful. The cost of living is affordable compared to many European countries. The internet infrastructure is top-notch, and the local communities are incredibly welcoming. But above all, it's the work-life balance that digital nomads cherish. Imagine finishing your workday and heading straight to the beach for a sunset swim, or spending your weekends exploring the picturesque countryside. Now you must be wondering, how does one become a digital nomad in Portugal? Well, it starts with applying for a digital nomad visa. This visa allows you to legally live and work in Portugal for a year, and it can be renewed for up to 5 years. The application process is straightforward, but it requires careful preparation and documentation. So, are you ready to embark on this exciting journey? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the process of applying for a digital nomad visa in Portugal. Together, we'll navigate the steps, from understanding the eligibility criteria and required documents, to filling out the application form and submitting it. So let's begin this adventure and unlock a new way of living and working. Firstly, it's important to understand what a digital nomad visa is. This special type of visa is designed specifically for people who work remotely or conduct their businesses online. It's more than just a stamp on your passport. It's a doorway into a new way of living and working, a lifestyle that's all about flexibility, freedom, and the thrill of immersing yourself in a new culture. The digital nomad visa is a fantastic option for those who want to experience living in Portugal while being able to continue their work remotely. It's like having the best of both worlds. You get to enjoy the rich culture, delicious cuisine, and breathtaking landscapes of Portugal while maintaining your income and business operations. So, who exactly is this visa for? In a nutshell, it is for anyone who can perform their work duties over the internet. This could mean digital marketers, software developers, writers, designers, consultants, online teachers, and so forth. If your work requires just a laptop and a good internet connection, then the digital nomad visa is likely a good fit for you. But why Portugal? Well, Portugal is a country that has embraced the digital nomad trend with open arms. It offers high-speed internet, an affordable cost of living, and a warm, welcoming community of fellow digital nomads. Moreover, Portugal is well known for its safety, making it a desirable destination for solo travelers and families alike. With its blend of traditional charm and modern amenities, Portugal is the perfect backdrop for a digital nomad's lifestyle. Now let's talk about the benefits of a digital nomad visa. For one, it gives you legal status to live and work in Portugal for a year, and it can be renewed for up to 2 more years. This means you can fully immerse yourself in the Portuguese lifestyle without the constant worry of overstaying a tourist visa. Another major benefit is that it allows for a slower, more immersive travel experience. Instead of racing through tourist spots, you get to know your neighborhood cafe, learn the local language, and form meaningful connections with the community. The digital nomad visa also provides a certain level of stability that's often missing from the nomadic lifestyle. It gives you an official address, access to local services, and the ability to open a bank account. It's like having a home base in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. In short, a digital nomad visa is more than just a travel document. It's a ticket to a life of adventure, growth, and global citizenship. It provides the freedom to work from anywhere, the opportunity to experience a new culture, and the security of legal residency. Now that we know what a digital nomad visa is, let's explore how you can apply for one. Before you start your application, you need to check if you're eligible. Now, let's dive into the specifics of the eligibility criteria for the digital nomad visa in Portugal. First and foremost, to qualify for this visa, you must be engaged in a profession that can be performed remotely. This could be anything from content creation, freelancing in various fields, running an online business, or even working as a remote employee for a company located elsewhere. The key here is that your work should not depend on your location, allowing you to carry out your professional duties from the comfort of your Portuguese residence. Secondly, you need to demonstrate that you have sufficient means to support yourself during your stay in Portugal. This means you should have a stable income that can cover your living expenses. The exact amount varies, but as a general guideline, it's usually around the average salary in Portugal, which is currently around 1,000 euros a month. Next, you need to have international health insurance. This is to ensure you're covered for any medical emergencies or health issues that may arise during your stay. The coverage should be comprehensive and valid for the entire duration of your stay in Portugal. Another crucial requirement is that you should not have any criminal records. A clean background check is necessary to assure the Portuguese authorities that you will not pose a security risk to the country. The check should cover the last 5 years and should be issued by the authorities of the country where you have been residing. You will also need to prove that you have not stayed illegally in Portuguese territory or any other Schengen area in the past. This can be verified through your passport stamps or other official documents. Lastly, you should be able to prove your intention to maintain your digital nomad lifestyle during your stay in Portugal. This could be demonstrated through contracts or agreements with clients, a business plan if you're an entrepreneur, or an employment contract if you're a remote worker. Remember, these are the general criteria, and there may be additional requirements depending on your specific situation. Also, the Portuguese authorities reserve the right to request further documentation or information to assess your eligibility. It's essential to keep in mind that meeting the eligibility criteria does not guarantee that you will be granted a visa. The decision ultimately lies in the hands of the Portuguese immigration authorities, who will consider your application in its entirety, including your personal circumstances, your professional situation, and your ties to Portugal. Therefore, it's crucial to prepare your application carefully, ensuring that all the information you provide is accurate, relevant, and well documented. You should also be prepared to answer any further questions or provide additional documents if requested by the authorities. Ensure you meet all the eligibility criteria before proceeding with your application. This will increase your chances of success and bring you one step closer to living your dream as a digital nomad in Portugal. Getting your documents in order is a critical step in the application process. Now let's delve into the specifics. When it comes to applying for a digital nomad visa in Portugal, you'll need to prepare a comprehensive list of documents. This might seem daunting, but don't worry. We're here to guide you through it. Firstly, you'll need a valid passport. This should be a no-brainer, right? Your passport should be valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned stay in Portugal. So, if you're planning to stay for a year, your passport needs to be valid for at least a year and a half from the day you plan to enter Portugal. Next up is proof of health insurance. Portugal requires all visa applicants to have comprehensive health insurance. This insurance should cover all necessary medical expenses, including repatriation for medical reasons. It's important to ensure your insurance company provides a document confirming the coverage and its validity. Now, let's talk about financial means. You need to prove that you can sustain yourself financially during your stay in Portugal. This could be through a bank statement, proof of regular income, or a declaration of financial responsibility by a third party. Another key document is a criminal record certificate from your country of residence. This is to ensure that you do not have any unresolved legal issues that could pose a risk. Keep in mind, the certificate should be less than 3 months old at the time of application. You'll also need a letter from your employer or proof of your self-employment status. If you're employed, the letter should state your job position, the nature of your work, and confirm that you can perform your work remotely. If you're self-employed, you should provide proof of your business, such as a business registration document. And last but not least, you'll need to provide 2 passport-size photos. Make sure these are recent, clear, and follow the standard passport photo guidelines. Now, a few tips to help you get these documents ready. Start gathering these documents well in advance, as some, like the criminal record certificate, can take time to obtain. Make sure all documents are in English or Portuguese. If they are not, get them officially translated. And remember, all documents should be original. Photocopies or scanned copies are not accepted. It's also worth noting that Portugal may require additional documents depending on your specific situation. So, it's always a good idea to check the official website or consult with a visa expert to ensure you have everything covered. Once you have all your documents ready, you can proceed to the next step, filling out the application. And remember, it's not just about getting a visa, it's about starting a new chapter in your life, one full of adventures and opportunities. Let's make sure it starts on the right foot. Filling out the application form can be a daunting task, but don't worry, we'll walk you through it. Let's begin with the basics. You'll need to provide your personal details, like your full name, date of birth, nationality, and contact information. Remember, it's crucial to make sure every detail is accurate. One tiny typo can cause complications down the line. So take a deep breath, slow down, and double-check everything. Next, you'll need to fill out your passport details. This includes your passport number, date of issue, and expiration date. Make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended stay in Portugal. Then comes the section on your current and past residences. Here, you'll provide information about where you live now and where you've lived before. This information helps the authorities understand your travel history. The next section is about your professional background. You'll need to provide information about your current employment or business. This includes your job title, the name of your employer or business, and your monthly income. Remember, as a digital nomad, your income source should be outside Portugal. Now let's move to the section on your stay in Portugal. Here, you'll provide details about your intended stay. You'll need to mention the duration of your stay and your address in Portugal. If you don't have an address yet, don't worry. You can provide the address of your intended accommodation, like a hotel or a rental apartment. Next, you'll need to provide information about your health insurance. Portugal requires all digital nomads to have health insurance that covers them in the country. So you'll need to provide the details of your health insurance plan, including the provider, policy number, and coverage details. Then comes the section on supporting documents. Here, you'll list all the documents you're submitting with your application. This includes your passport, proof of income, and health insurance, among other things. Make sure you've got all your documents in order and listed here. The final part of the form is the declaration. This is where you verify that all the information you've provided is true and accurate. It's a legal affirmation, so take a moment to go over everything one last time. Once you've filled out all the sections, take a few moments to review everything. Make sure all the information is accurate and all required sections are completed. Remember, incomplete or inaccurate information can lead to delays or even rejection of your application. Once you're satisfied, it's time to sign the form. Your signature is your affirmation that everything you've provided is true to the best of your knowledge. And there you have it. Filling out the application form might seem intimidating at first, but when you break it down step by step, it's manageable. Remember, the key is to be thorough and accurate. Once you've filled out the application form, you're one step closer to your dream of working from Portugal. Now that your application form is filled out, it's time to submit it. Submitting the application for a digital nomad visa in Portugal is the final step before your adventure begins. It's not a complicated process, but it's crucial to get it right to avoid any hiccups down the line. Firstly, you'll need to submit your application to the Portuguese Immigration and Border Service, also known as SEF. You can do this through their online portal, which is available in multiple languages for your convenience. While submitting, ensure that all your information is accurate and matches the details in your supporting documents. Remember, inconsistencies can lead to delays or even rejections, so double-check everything before you hit that submit button. Next, let's talk about fees. Applying for a digital nomad visa in Portugal involves a fee, which is payable at the time of submission. The fee varies depending on the duration of your stay. For example, for a visa that lasts up to 1 year, you'll be required to pay a fee equivalent to the minimum wage in Portugal, which is currently €585. Payment methods include credit or debit card and bank transfer. Make sure to keep a receipt or screenshot of the transaction as proof of payment. You never know when you might need it. Once your application is submitted and the fee paid, you'll receive a confirmation email. This email will contain details about your application and a reference number. Keep this email safe as you'll need the reference number for future correspondence with SEF. Lastly, bear in mind that processing times for the digital nomad visa can vary. It could take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months. So it's best to apply well in advance of your planned departure. Upon successful submission of your application, the waiting game begins. But while you wait, you can start dreaming about the cobblestone streets, the stunning coastline, and the vibrant digital nomad community you'll soon be joining in Portugal. So you've submitted your application. What happens next? Well, after you've submitted your application for a digital nomad visa in Portugal, the waiting game begins. The process of reviewing your application is thorough, and so, understandably, it takes a bit of time. Typically, the consulate or embassy you've submitted your application to will take anywhere between 2 to 3 months to review your application. During this review period, they'll be looking at all the documents you've submitted, checking to see if you meet all the eligibility criteria. They'll be verifying your income, ascertaining that you indeed have a job that can be done remotely, and generally just making sure that all the I's are dotted and T's crossed. What's important to note is that, during this period, you might be called in for an interview. Don't stress about it. It's just a routine part of the process. They might have a few questions about your application, or they might need some additional documentation. Just be prepared, be honest, and you'll be fine. Now, I know the waiting can be a bit nerve-wracking. It's natural to wonder and worry about the outcome. But remember, every application is unique, and the time it takes to review it can vary. So don't compare your journey with someone else's. During this waiting period, you might be tempted to follow up with the consulate or embassy. While it's completely understandable, it's also important to remember that they're dealing with a large volume of applications. So while it's okay to check in once or twice, avoid bombarding them with emails or phone calls. Instead, use this time to start planning your move. Portugal is a beautiful country with a rich history and culture. Its cities are vibrant and the countryside is breathtaking. Start researching the different regions, figuring out where you'd like to live. Look into the cost of living, find out about the local customs and traditions, and start learning a bit of Portuguese. Remember, the digital nomad lifestyle is all about embracing new experiences and cultures. So even while you're waiting for your application to be processed, immerse yourself in everything Portugal has to offer. Start connecting with other digital nomads who are already in Portugal. They can provide invaluable insights and advice, and who knows, you might even make a few friends before you even set foot in the country. In the end, it's all about patience. The review process might take a bit of time, but it's all part of the journey. The digital nomad lifestyle is about more than just working from a laptop in a beautiful country. It's about embracing change, adapting to new environments, and making the most of every opportunity that comes your way. So while you're waiting for your application to be processed, start planning, start dreaming, and start getting excited about the amazing adventure that awaits you in Portugal. Patience is key at this stage. While you wait, start planning your move to Portugal. While your application is being processed, it's a good idea to start preparing for your move. Now, let's talk about what to prepare for when planning your move to Portugal. One of the first things to consider is accommodation. Portugal offers a wide range of options, from modern apartments in bustling city centers to quaint houses in tranquil rural areas. Research the different regions to find a place that suits your lifestyle and work needs. Next, familiarize yourself with the cost of living in Portugal. Generally speaking, it's lower than in many other European countries, but it can vary significantly depending on your location. Major cities like Lisbon and Porto tend to be more expensive, while smaller towns and rural areas are typically more affordable. When it comes to food, Portugal is a gastronomic paradise. Its cuisine is as diverse as its landscapes, from the fresh seafood of the coastal regions to the hearty stews of the inland areas. And let's not forget about the pastries. Portugal is famous for its pastel de nata, a delicious egg tart that's a must-try for any newcomer. Now, onto the cultural nuances. Portugal is a country with a rich history and strong traditions. The Portuguese are known for their hospitality and friendliness, but they also appreciate respect for their customs. Take some time to learn about Portuguese etiquette, such as the customary greetings and dining habits. And finally, start learning the language. While English is widely spoken in the tourist areas and among the younger generation, knowing some basic Portuguese can go a long way in helping you integrate into the local community. Remember, moving to a new country is a big step, but it's also an exciting adventure. The more you prepare, the smoother your transition will be. With proper preparation, you'll be ready to start your digital nomad journey in Portugal as soon as your visa is approved. Applying for a digital nomad visa in Portugal may seem like a long process, but the rewards are well worth it. After all, it's not just about the paperwork. It's about the vibrant culture, the friendly communities, and the endless opportunities that come with embracing the digital nomad lifestyle in Portugal. As we've discussed in this video, the first step is understanding the digital nomad visa. This visa is a golden ticket to living and working in Portugal, a country that's rapidly becoming a hub for digital nomads from around the globe. It's a unique opportunity to combine work and travel, to enjoy the freedom of remote work while experiencing the richness of Portuguese life. Next, we've talked about the eligibility criteria and the required documents for the application. Remember, it might seem like a lot at first, but each document is a stepping stone on your path to becoming a digital nomad in Portugal. Keep in mind that the process is manageable and designed to ensure that you're well prepared for this exciting new chapter in your life. We've also discussed how to fill out the application form and submit it. It's a process that requires care and attention, so take your time and make sure every detail is accurate. After submission, the waiting game begins. But don't worry, it's just a matter of time before you get the green light to start your digital nomad journey in Portugal. Finally, we've talked about preparing for your move to Portugal. It's not just about packing your bags. It's about mentally preparing yourself for the adventure that lies ahead. It's about embracing a new way of life, a lifestyle that combines work and travel, freedom and responsibility, adventure and routine. Embracing the digital nomad lifestyle in Portugal means embracing a life of balance, a life where work and play coexist, where every day is a new adventure, and where the world is your office. It's a life that offers a wealth of experiences, a life that's both challenging and rewarding, a life that's truly worth living. So, are you ready to embrace the digital nomad lifestyle in Portugal? We wish you all the best on your journey.